Hey guys, Joanna coming in. Actually, I'm going to be doing a bit of an exclusive video here. There's some new units that have been introduced to Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. So I'm actually going to be getting the modder who made these units to come on in and go over them with me. So hold on one second. Alright guys, so here I am bringing in Azrian Fox here. He's one of the moderators for, one of the mods, for the 1212 AD game for Attila Total War, and he was actually... Were you in charge of making these new units for the Swiss faction, or did you kind of help people out doing it? How did that work?
I created the unit variants. I modeled, textured the units. I did not make the unit, or I did not make the models themselves, but I textured them. Also made the units. I did the research with Drakir on our Discord, and I put together the units, and I put them into the game, test them, make sure they're good, make sure they don't have any missing or broken things about them, and then I send them off to the rest of the team to be put into the game.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm actually I just zoomed in here onto the Swiss faction that's inside the settlement. Actually, this was a battle that the six of you guys put together just to kind of show off these new units.
Yes, so we modeled it after the Battle of Morat. It's in the Burgundian Swiss Wars when Charles the Bold is kind of on the losing side of his war. He kind of retreats back and tries to quickly siege out the city of Morat before the Swiss can catch up with him. But a relief force of about 15,000 Swiss and Lorraine units catch up with him, and his army is basically squished in between the city itself and the relieving force. So they pretty much get ambushed on two sides. And in this battle here, we changed it up a little bit. In the actual battle, they fought a field battle in front of the city, but in this one, we changed it a little bit so that way we can actually get some siege in along with the actual field battle for the relief force.
Definitely very cool. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the walls here. It's looking like some breach points have been made here. I actually put it onto slow motion, so some of the units are starting to move up to the wall. I see a lot of this is. Who was on the attacking side with you again?
Two people from Celtic Warband's Discord. Celtic Warband himself and a person named Tattoos and Welding.
Gotcha.
They were fighting along with me. Okay. And they were the ones sieging the city, and for me, I have to hold off the two Swiss armies reinforcing so that I can buy my teammates time to get in and secure the city before the reinforcements get there.
Wow. All right, well, while it's on slow motion, as I see that Celtic and Tattoo's armies are looking like they're starting to move forward, I'm actually going to zoom in here onto this spear and pike unit here on the left side of the city with the sword unit behind them. Okay. I'm just going to take a look at them. I mean, these guys, I've said it in a lot of videos, a lot of replays that I've done. This mod is just absolutely beautiful, and all you guys did fantastic work. I have to it's just absolutely beautiful. The way these units look, the shine to them, the armor, the banners on their the artwork on their shields. It's a completely different game than Attila is. I have to say that.
That's great.
But yeah,
it's also fun working and making them.
Oh, I can imagine. I can definitely imagine.
In Swiss, it's even more because I put a lot more effort in making sure that the units are documented and that they're using the correct coat of arms.
Are these the actual real, historical names of these units?
Yes, I worked with Drakir to make sure that that we made sure to get the right German. I think it's German and Swiss German. Names, obviously, some of them we kind of compromised a little bit, like I think on the Spirit. Yeah, on like the Pavis, we just call them the Pavis. And what are the other ones? The Idagos and Swordsman. We just name them Swordsman.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make those compromises for those things. But yeah, we tried to keep it as Swiss German or regular German as we could. Made sure that the terms are correct, because in the medieval ages there's a lot of different ways something can be categorized. Sometimes people can make terms for a thing and mean like whole different things, or have a whole bunch of different words mean the same thing.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, what all units on the Swiss side here are the newer units, or the you said that this is an older faction, but it's kind of gotten like a revamp.
This is an older faction, but we took out all the old units and we redid the entire roster.
Wow, that must have been a lot of work for you guys.
Yeah. Usually a faction for like my thing, it takes probably a month, but it's not dedicated work. Take a couple hours each night to work on it. To get it done.
So far, real quick before we start getting into these units, for the Swiss faction, the units that we can see on the field so far, what would you say was your favorite unit to make, and what was your favorite unit to put the actual artwork to these shields? Which again, dude, I got to say, these things are beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful.
I always like doing the noble units. So knights, men at arms.
Okay.
Dismounted units.
So this the Shoothless of Bern. I'm guessing the
Shoothius, I think.
That's a newer revamp reskin unit.
Yeah, that's a new general.
Wow.
It's supposed to represent Adrian von Buchenberg, which is actually the person that was in command of the Morat garrison at the Battle of Morat.
Yeah, I'm just kind of flying through the unit here. This the general cav unit over here, and dude, wow, you guys do really great work. You guys do really great work on this. So yeah, let's start. I guess let's swing back over, and we'll take a look at that first spear and pike unit. You have some information on these units that maybe you'd want to, just little tidbits of information about these units that made them kind of unique to you guys to wanting to revamp them?
Well, the Pavis is a shield technology that they made coming out of Italy, probably about late 14th to early 15th. It was used primarily for covering crossbowmen. They would use large shields, and they would place them in the ground with these big spikes, and they would hide behind the Pavis shield as they were reloading. And also times they used them as spears, to kind of create shield walls, kind of like with big tower shields, to prevent either enemy cav or just enemy infantry units from fighting effectively or breaking through effectively. Because of the big shields, you can cover a lot of attacks from enemy units. So they make quite a good shield for missile blocking and for keeping the line together, as like maybe your archers are working in the back shooting over, or your pikes are coming through the formations to hit the enemies as they're attacking you. So
what would you I have another question about when you guys doing the art. I mean, I'm asking you, but I guess this kind of encapsulates all of you modders. How long does it actually take from start to finish? I mean, looking at these the pikemen here, some of them have swords in scabbards, some of them don't. Some of them, they're all pretty much every single guy in the unit is different from the next guy. How long does it take you guys? Like you just said, for a whole faction, it's partially dedicated time, or a couple hours a night. But like when you guys first started making this mod, were any of you guys really like in the know of how to do this stuff? Or I mean, was there a lot of trial and error? Or what I mean?
Certainly a lot of trial and error. If you take a look at like all the old roster pictures from like 2017 or 2018, having Slytacular and having Bansky come in and do a lot of modeling work actually really escalated the quality of our units. when he came in about, I think it was maybe 2017, 2018. He makes a lot of different things. So it really helped us to get more variety into the units because he was able to bring out more of these models.
Gotcha.
And help diversify all the units.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, looking at this pike unit here, what do you got? What do you got for these guys? These are just standard pikemen. I mean, I see they're medium pike infantry.
Yeah, they are standard pike infantry. The Swiss they weren't the first to use the pikes, as you would know, but they were more renowned for their organizational skills. The Swiss, since they were kind of cut off from the rest of the world because they sit in the Alps, they prioritized military organization. So before the introduction of pikes to their doctrines in about 1422, the Battle of Arbedo, they really prioritized the use of halberds and stuff, and they really prioritized organizing in columns and squares to prevent enemy cavalry from charging them in the backs or sides. So when they adopted the pikes, they already had the organization. So with the pikes, they even had even more range, even more capabilities. So it turned them from just a regular German nation into like one of the most wanted mercenary forces.
Okay.
Pretty much in the 15th century.
Nice. Moving over to these the Edgosian
Eidgenossen
swordsman here. So yeah, I have these two units here. Again, medium infantry here. Dude, even the guys who really aren't wearing armor, they still look awesome.
Yeah. And they look great. The ones that have the puffy shoulders are considered doublets. You have doublets, you have padded tops, you have jupons, which are the ones that are, I guess have the string up the front to keep the jupon together. You have regular pad tops, chain. Yeah, they're very medium to probably light medium swordsmen.
So they're quicker. They would naturally
quicker.
Be faster.
They're quicker. The Ozugs are technically supposed to be the heavy armored addition for the Swiss roster. These guys in the Landstrom are supposed to be the lower end for the armor and the skill.
Gotcha. Let's get on over here to the Pavis crossbowmen here. I'm gonna let you say that name because.
The Eidgenossen Pavis Ambersutzen.
Yes, that right there.
Yeah.
Again, now when you guys were researching these, the not banners, the artwork for their shields, this is all, I'm guessing, different households?
Yes, so like you'll have the bull, which is Yuri. You'll have the man with the walking staff, which is Glarus. You have the bear on a diagonal, that's Bern. Let's see, you have Schweids with I think there's a red cross. Yeah, the red, white cross with a red field, that's Schwitz, and then got Nidwald, Obwald, and Unterwald, which are the keys. I think Unter is the one with the white key on the red field, and then that lower half is the red key on the white field. I think that's Unter. And then you got Obwald, which is the white key on the red field, and then you got Nidwald, which is the single-headed key with the red top and the white bottom. Let's see here.
There's actually, I see another one here with a smaller key in the top left hand of the shield. The red is on a white background. The white is on the red background.
Yeah, that's Obwald.
That's Obwald. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I have the red and white. Like kind of
red and white is this. I made like a reverse color I made the color for the Swiss or the Schwitz just larger.
Gotcha.
covering the entire shield. And then you have the blue and white ones, like the one that's half blue, half white, cut vertically. That one's Luzerne. Then you got the white Pavis with the blue stripe in the middle. That is Zug. And then you have the let's see. There should be a shield that is cut diagonally with blue and white that represents Zurich.
Okay.
Okay. And then you also have Freiburg. I think it's Freiburg. Yeah, it's the black and white one. I don't know if it's on the Pavis.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any black and whites, at least in the army that's inside the settlement. I don't see any.
Okay. You did.
Black and red,
for those.
black and white.
Black and white. I think I'd probably use them for the Governmente. Okay. So I got Freiburg and then Solothurn. And then I think that should be all of them. But the main ones were Zug, Schwitz, Yuri, and is it Bern? I think it's a Bern. But those were the big four of the cantons.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Moving over on to what I honestly, personally, one of my favorite units. Doesn't actually matter what faction I use. The heavy shock infantry here, which I think a lot of people really enjoy because I see them a lot in field or siege battles. Is this a true unit? Was there actually a unit classified as a heavy shock infantry?
Yeah.
There was.
Yeah, the 15th century is just filled with heavy armored knights. That's when the cavalry and the dismounted shock units really shine when it comes to breaking through enemy formations.
Gotcha. I mean, even looking through all of these units, like I've looked at the units before when I've played, but now getting a really good close. None of the obviously some of them do, but they all have different types of two-handed weapons. Some of them have axes. Some of them have a halberd type axe. There's some like this guy right here. I don't know exactly what weapon this is, but he's got two little mace heads with a big point on the top.
Yeah, I don't know if those existed, but Jean Froissart, he was a big artist in Netherlands and Belgium. He's known for the Froissart Chronicles, and he has a lot of cool-looking weaponry in his, and that's where we got the idea for those. It's like two bell-shaped mace heads with a long spike at the top.
Yeah, that just looks like it's the thing that nightmares would be made of. Like, I mean, all of these guys, all of the heavy shock infantry weapons just look very scary. Very, very, very scary.
I especially like the crow's beak ones.
Yes.
Those are the ones with the pick. Pick de Coban. Crow's beak.
Yeah, it's got the pick on the front with the baby mace head on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just looks all sorts of pain-causing and bone-crushing. It's just that's just a weapon on any angle. That's just a weapon.
Yeah, especially when you get into the unarmored areas, like under the pits, the groin, back of the knees.
So let's see. We went over the crossbows, the pikes, the spears, the swords. We did touch on the general unit. Pretty sure that's all of the new units that you guys have made that are on the inside of the settlement. You want to shoot on out to the outside of the settlement here, where actually I still have it going on slow motion, but there is a grand battle going on out here in the fields here. So I guess that's more of the scenario that you guys are looking to do, like you were just saying earlier.
Yep, that's my defense against two armies. Ooh. It's not one of my greatest battles.
Yeah, I see. Actually, as I was panning over here, I saw two of these dismounted
Gawapnete or something like that.
Yeah, they're coming in on your flank here of your spears and a unit of your halberds, and your foot coulstiers are just don't seem to be holding up very well because they're wavering rather quickly.
It's because of those Ozark boots and Schützen.
Ozog Bootsen Schützen. Ah, the gunners.
Yeah.
The gunners. Wow, look
Yep.
at these guys.
Yep. So these are the Augsburg units. So in 15th century Swiss, when they started to organize their armies after defeats like the Battle of Arbedo, they came into this recruitment system. And so what they would do is they put likely aged and likely skilled men into similar units. So the Augsburg were technically the young, like 18, 20, 24 years old, and highly skilled. So these are like the elite core of the Swiss. These are the ones that they would use in external conflicts and campaigns.
These are their elite of elite units, basically.
Yeah, they're the elite, and they would probably go on to be I think it's the Ronstaffler. It's basically the mercenaries. They basically move on to be mercenary units.
Whoa.
Yeah. So these guys are the best equipped, they got the best skill, and they're the youngest, so they actually have a lot of endurance and physique on probably the foes that they have probably being a lot older than them. So
yeah, you would figure that this Augsburg halberdier unit would probably be 5 to maybe 7 years younger than this spear unit that they're fighting.
Yeah, probably.
Wow, that's well. Now I understand even more why you guys are just kind of like this unit of spears that just broke.
It's something interesting that I found in that system is that they really specified the ages of the different types of units.
Very interesting. That's honestly a really interesting history right there. I didn't know that. These halberds here that are coming around on your left flank. This is a totally reskinned unit, also. Did the Burgundians, not Burgundians, sorry, did the Swiss have this unit already, and you guys just basically took the old one out and put a new one in, or basically, are there units that you guys have added in that weren't in the original?
Well, technically these are all in, but I think the role of a heavy pike or heavy halberd unit was in roster to begin with. But I mean, technically, in that case, yeah, they would probably be the same as the ones before, but they're just newer models and stuff.
Gotcha. Where do you guys get this is all historical armor or, artwork armor that you guys have researched?
Yeah.
Wow.
The idea for the Augsburgs that I got out of it was one of the manuscripts, but they show these units that are full of men filled with or covered with breastplates and arm harnesses and helmets, but with no leg protection, which is actually a good idea, because if you're working as a halberdier unit or as a pike unit, you wouldn't need to cover your legs as much.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Actually, I was just going to comment that I can see a lot of, actually the majority of them. There are some in this halberdier unit that have leg plate on that goes all the way down to the top of their boots, but there are a bunch of other guys that are wearing just pants. Like, I'm looking at this one guy. He's got the white pants, white leg on one side, red leg with the white cross on it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another one here with black pants with the red leg and the white cross. I mean, so they didn't really wear armor very much in some of these units.
Yeah, not on the legs. But it changes per manuscript that you use as a source.
Gotcha.
It could also be kind of the bias of the illustrator. So sometimes you also got to take that into account, is whether it's based in actual other sources, if they used armor in this way, or if the illustrator was just taking what he knows, or maybe he was a little bit biased. Maybe he was someone that wanted the Swiss to look good or something like that. So sometimes when you take armor straight from manuscripts, you also gotta sometimes make sure that those are things that they actually did, or the war, or how they fought. Because you'll see sometimes with like the Swiss and other manuscripts, they'll have these really cool shields, which will have like faces, like the Ozark officers. They have these copper shields with faces on them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is some of the manuscripts actually had. They had these really intricate looking shields with faces on them, almost mocking the enemy or intimidating them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll show it on there. I don't think it's something that would have happened a lot, but that's something that I think the illustrator shows.
Gotcha.
Kind of shows that manuscripts are showing that the Swiss are intimidated with the shields, with their armor and stuff like that. So that's what I mean about sometimes watching what you use for manuscripts, because it can be a little bit biased.
Gotcha.
But most of the time it should be pretty historical if you just make sure to get more than one source. Make sure what you're showing is backed up by more than one side of the story.
Yeah, how do you guys actually, that's another question. How do you guys deem what's, I don't want to say worthy, but what, for lack of a better term, lack of a better word, how do you you just said that it has to be backed up. Is there like a certain amount of historical research that you guys can come up with per unit, or even all the way just down to the artwork of the breastplates or the helmet style or anything like that?
Yeah, we definitely make sure with making the models and stuff. I know that Bansky uses a lot of manuscripts that like I'll encounter or other people will encounter or he encounters, and he models them specifically based off of those manuscripts. We try to use sources to make up these models and not, just like come up with
random whatever's kind of thing.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
And if we do, I don't know if we do, but if we do, just trying to make it authentic.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Actually, we've been talking here for a little bit. What is this cap? Oh, here's a unit of cavalry here. The Feldhauptmann.
Yep,
general here.
Yeah, that'd be the captain.
This would be the captain. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. They do it again. Cavalry. Just the war dress that you guys put on the horses is just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
A lot of the VMDs is making the variant mesh definitions, which is making them in Attila's unit maker is the fun part of this, but the really intricate part is making the textures for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Making them a GIMP and then sending them and placing them into the folders and having them converted into a different file format, and making sure that sometimes they're not too bright, because Attila makes whites and near white textures and colors really, really bright for some reason. And then you have to go back and redo it, and then redo it through the converter, which takes a couple minutes to load up, and then finally convert the textures. The textures are main part of the making process for the factions. They take up a lot of time.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, I said it earlier in the video. It's just the time and the dedication. Whether it's like you said before, a couple hours a night, or if you guys actually, if you were to in your real life set apart like a whole day, or a good 12-hour chunk or whatever, to just try and grind out as much stuff as you can, just to get a faction a little bit closer to being able to be premiered or revamped or whatever. You know what I mean? Just like the dedication that you guys put into this mod is amazing. Just absolutely amazing. The colors, the flashy, even the ultimate shine of the shiniest general helmet. You know what I mean? It's honestly like something I haven't seen before, or haven't seen in a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, actually, what made you guys decide to get into making this mod? Actually,
I met my first set of friends I met on Total War, and then not too long after that, I met more people that were actually on the mod team, and then I got recruited in. Oh gosh, when did I make this? I think it was like 2017 or something like that. I started making my first faction. Actually didn't know anything about medieval history when I came into this.
wow, really?
But yeah, making these units and doing the research and looking at manuscripts and stuff, it's actually very cool, and I've actually found a love for medieval military technology and armors and stuff. But it was a lot of trial and error before when I started.
I can imagine, dude. Honestly, I can imagine. I've seen a little bit of artwork here and there, from the different units and everything, and it's got to take a lot of time. Like initially, when you're first getting into it, it's got to take a lot of time to get used to it, and doing all the research and setting the time apart to make the models and make sure all the models look the same or close to being the same. You know what I mean? There's a lot of work that you guys put into this mod, and I think I'm just gonna say, for the people who have enjoyed this mod so much more than I have, since I'm kind of still newer to this mod, like, big thank you to all you guys for this, for taking the time and dedicating whatever amount of time that there's been, and hours and painstaking hours, maybe sometimes as well, lack of sleep, whatever it is that you guys have done to bring this fantastic mod to it, and the changes that you guys have made to the campaign, and making the campaign even initially, it's been a hell of a ride since I've started playing it. So I can only imagine how really awesome it was back in the beginning when you guys first started making all this stuff.
Yeah, it was an interesting time back then, but as more people came on, and as we got modelers like Sly and Bainsky, and then we had rigging like with LTD, our basically the quality of our mod went up from that point after Bainsky and everybody came on. Yeah.
I think this is, you said that Celtic was the one that was attacking on the right side of the settlement here. So up on the left, this is where Tattoos is?
Yeah, Tattoo had this triangle formation he had set up to protect his bombard.
So I'm looking at the different halberdier units here, and that's a shock infantry. I saw the weapons real quick. I thought that was a halberdier unit, but he's got these two different this ducal household Gusimir.
Oh yeah, the ducal household Gizmi.
Yeah, these guys. I'm just looking at their weapons. It's like this one guy here has a sword, essentially on a pole. Like,
yeah, that's a glaive.
That's a certain glaive. Style of glaive.
Yeah, it's a certain style. I think we also have a glaive with a disc. Yeah, they have them. There's a glaive variant with a disc, pretty much to prevent enemies from bringing their weapons into the person's hands. Basically to deflect or maybe catch swords, and then you could push in with your weapon into them. Like, it also got like bills. I think
there's some bill hooks in here, or variants of bill hooks here.
I see a Gizarm, which is the one single spike with the hook right at the front, not the one that has anything on the top of it, but
yeah,
the arms, which
the one with the fatter blade.
Yeah. You'd use that hook to either. First I thought it was you'd pull down enemy shields, but actually it seems it's more that you would pull people towards you, and then you could coordinate with people around you to kill the particular unit or the particular man that you pulled in.
Oh, it's like a grappling hook. kind of
Yeah.
thing. Grappling hook of
That's
death.
why a lot of the halberds, like on the halberdier unit, they have that curve that kind of curves back towards the man holding it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can grapple onto someone, you can pull them in.
Yeah. So the ducal house, is that I'm guessing that's just the duke's polearm infantry?
It's a guard. Yeah, it's a guard unit of the ducal household.
Wow.
Yeah.
These weapons are all historically accurate, pretty much?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say so.
I mean, I've seen my fair share of medieval history and weaponry and armor types and everything, but I mean, every time I see a new weapon that maybe I didn't see, or another weapon that I haven't seen in a while, it just kind of makes me, in my mind, kind of go back, like try to think about going back and just imagine seeing one of these massive two-handed axes just coming down on me and being like, this is bad.
Yeah. Well, that's how the Duke of Burgundy met his end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A Swiss halberdier brought down probably one of the big Swiss ones with the little cross in the bottom corner of the cutting edge.
Mm-hmm.
Brought it down right onto his head.
Oh.
Basically caved in his skull.
Oh.
Yep. He was on a horse too. Those halberds have pretty far reach.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, yeah, are there? Have we missed any of the units? I want to try and make sure that we showcase as many of the new units as you guys did. I mean, were there any newer units in the Burgundian armies factions or anything that we need to touch on?
Other than the households unit, there's basically we tried to take as many ordnance units as there would be. Mm-hmm. So we've got a lot of pikemen from the ordnance. You could tell which ones are ordnance because they've got like kind of Spanish cross kind of looking red X with the blue and white.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the new, or I don't know if it was the new, but it was the, I guess it would be their coat of arms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing some of these guys actually look like what is that in the front of some of these guys' helmets over here on the Burgundian pikeman unit? Looks like horns or feathers or something.
Yeah, that's feather. Yeah, probably a pheasant feather.
I see. Yeah, there's some here that, unless maybe I'm just not seeing it right. There's some here that have two. There's actually a couple that only have one. Do you think that would be like a age thing or a battle thing?
Probably not. Probably just something to probably look better.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, dude, this is just... I've said it a couple of times. This game is like a whole new game.
Yeah.
It really is. You guys, the amount of time and effort that you guys put into this, it's unreal. It's unreal to me. Like just the dedication is just crazy. I mean, was there anything else that you really wanted to? I mean, is there any? Actually, maybe a little an attempt here at some information, insider information kind of thing. Is there anything else that we could possibly be looking forward to in the future that you could maybe?
We're working pretty hard on making sure we get our tech trees accomplished. We've got the tech trees accomplished. We're working on adding the units in. And we're also doing some economy changes. We're also trying to get everything fixed up so that way we can maybe push to start doing some testing sometime. But right now we don't know, but we've got pretty good progress in techs.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. You heard it here first. Adrian Fox, part of the 1212 mod team, coming in here and just giving us some new information on some of these really, again, beautiful, well done units here. Yeah, man, thank you very much for taking the time and setting the time apart. I know you're I know you're a pretty busy guy with modding and real life fish stuff and everything. But thank you very much for setting this time apart for me to be able to do this video.
Yeah, no, it's great to finally show off one of my units or one of my factions in real time.
Absolutely, dude. This has been really cool. I actually really enjoyed this a lot. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, do you want to just say real quick what all factions you have had your hands in, just since I have you here?
I originally started with the Duchy of Lorraine, then I did the Elector of Trier, and then I did the County of Flanders, and then I went on to redo the Lorraine units, and then I went to do Duchy of Brabant. I redid the Trier, so the new Trier units are mine, and then this one, Swiss Canton, I just finished a couple months ago, and then just like a week or so ago, I finished my update for the County of Flanders.
Wow, busy.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 factions over 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, and a couple of them are, like 3 of them now are redoing ones I've done in the past, so
wow.
It just shows you how much change we've done over the years.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to update our old factions.
And actually, one more question here before I finally let you go on there. Is there any word about the Irish faction maybe getting some attention? That's just me personally.
Bainsky is working on the Welsh, and then I think after the Welsh, I think he's going to start doing this Scottish units with Sly Taka, which was the person that was doing the Tier 1 Scottish.
Okay.
Units.
So Scotland might actually get some more units soon.
Yeah.
Soon-ish.
There was a lot of... I think what was originally the matter with Scotland was I don't think there was a lot of research, or there was a lot of documentation about how the Scottish were militarily after Tier 1, after 1300. So I think that's what kind of slowed down production in the Tier 2 and Tier 3 units, is that we were looking for
historical
research.
Accuracy. You guys were looking for historical accuracy. That was the speed bump.
Yeah,
Well, that makes sense.
we were looking for references.
That makes sense. Okay. All right, well, man, dude, like I said, I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you're a really busy guy. I just want to, again, thank you very much for setting the time apart here, going over all these new units, giving out a little bit of some exclusive information, I guess you could say, or upcoming updates that we all that enjoy this mod have to look forward to.
Yeah, and especially the replay fix. We're going to be getting that in the next update, I think, as well.
Ooh, that's going to be nice. Going to be nice. I could say that
it's going to be so many hours of old replays shaved off.
Mm-hmm.
Setting up.
Yeah. Now, is that going to be, like, you guys are going to try, or you guys are able to set it up where it's all of the extra, say a battle is, a replay is 76 minutes long, but the initial bombardment phase doesn't start until, let's just say 52 minutes. That extra 20 plus minutes will just be completely cut out?
It's like when you make a room to replay.
Really?
Everything is set up. Yeah, you can use the deployment phase.
Wow.
And have the replay still work.
That's awesome. I cannot wait for the day that comes out. Obviously, I can't wait for any of these new updates and new information that you're saying when it comes out. I can't wait for any of it because I love this mod. I love this. I mean, actually, I'm just seeing this Ducal House Longbowman. Wow, look at these guys. Real quick.
They're the same as the Gieselmere.
These guys are pretty. These guys are very pretty right here.
Yeah, I also like the gendarmes. The gendarmes are a very highly organized unit, and they're also It also comprises probably some of the richest men at arms. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically the requirement of the gendarmes where you have to be pretty much filthy rich enough to buy multiple war horses and
Yeah.
have like full white Italian armor.
Yeah, actually, I'm just
have-
catching a unit of the gendarmes breaking here and routing off of the battlefield, coming through the longbowmen here. And these, yeah, man, the armor, like this is beautiful. Like, it's absolutely beautiful. I can't say it enough. I know I'm probably starting to get a little annoying here with the amount, but I can't say it enough, dude. I just can't. It's
very good.
it's really good stuff. This is really fantastic stuff. So, but all right, I've said it twice already, and I keep finding more stuff to look at, more stuff to pick your brain about. But all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna end this here. Again, thank you very much, Adrian, for coming in.
Yep.
Thank you again
Thank you.
to all of the 1212 mod team for putting in the countless hours of dedicated work for this mod for all of us to enjoy. And yeah, I'm going to say that I'm going to speak for the 1212 community. We can't wait to see what else you guys have in store for us.
I know. Yeah, it'll be great once everything comes together with what we're working on right now.
Yeah.
It'll pretty much complete what we're looking for.
All right,
Looking
man.
to-
Well, thank you very much again. And all right, guys, I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will talk to you guys soon.